After an incredibly packed day on Friday here at the Mid-Ohio Sports Car Course, we are back at it once again, and the temperature rising as it did yesterday. A warm day here right now, but we are getting ready to roll. Finally, USF Pro 2000 ready to get onto the racetrack. Hello, race fans. My name is Rob Howden. Great to be here, and great to get back at it with the drivers in USF Pro 2000. They've had a number of races to start the season, but they'll cross the halfway point here at Mid-Ohio throughout the weekend here. 2 races here today, 1 tomorrow. Joining me right now, the driver will start on the pole position in race number 1 today from Turn 3 Motorsports, Leonardo Scorpioni. Leo, before we talk about today, let's go back to Road America. You're in a championship hunt right now. You made the move from USF 2000 to USF Pro 2000 after getting a couple of podiums at St. Pete in the championship fight. 2 top 5s at Road America. Did that give you the confidence and momentum moving into this weekend?
Yeah, I mean, Road America was honestly a tough weekend for us, the whole as a team. I feel like we were lacking a little bit of pace, but still come away with 2 top 5 finishes, maximizing what we could have got. And, I was super happy with that result. It's, I think, the match we could have got. We were lacking a little bit of pace overall the whole weekend, but coming in here, even from testing, we've been super confident. We know the car is really good here. Out the trailer, it's been really good. So here we know as a team we're really good. We have a really good race car. So for me, my job is easy. It's go on track, drive the race car, and it's easy for me here.
Yeah, you're not lacking any pace here at Mid-Ohio. The Turn 3 cars are super fast. Now, the thing that yesterday was you had a practice session, you had a qualifying session. You've been sitting here waiting to go racing, right? You watched USF 2000 Juniors race yesterday. IndyCar and Indy Next out before you guys for qualifying and practice. How do you feel that rubber's going to be when we go racing here today?
For me, I have a little bit of advantage. I help out a little bit with the Zanella crew coaching. So, I always go over there, watch their videos, see how the track has evolved, how it's changing. So, I have a little bit of advantage going into that compared to the other drivers. So, I have an idea. And, of course, last year we raced here. We raced here with IMSA rubber, with the juniors, and also IndyCar rubber. So, I know how the track changes. And Mid-Ohio as a whole, it's, you're always chasing the track more than anything because the track is always changing. So I think I feel very ready for that. I'm ready for I've driven under so many different rubbers here, so I'm ready to chase the track.
We're going to cross the halfway point in the season here this weekend. Are you feeling pressure yet about the championship? Is it still just about going to races and winning races right now?
I mean, I'm looking at the championship for sure. We're trying to stay consistent. Indy didn't go as planned. I flipped, of course. So I'm just trying to bounce back from that. And, it's no better way than come away 2 poles, I think, for now, for race 1 and race 2, and then also maybe for race 3 here.
Now, you've been in a championship chase before. You're the USF Juniors champion from last year. Do you draw back on that championship chase, that experience of winning a title already as we go into the second half of the season?
Yeah, I know it's about just being consistent. There's so many times last year where I wasn't really the quickest on track, but I just stayed consistent, try to finish every race, try to stay top 5 every race, top 3. So I know it's the same thing, a championship you win by just finishing every race, honestly, top 5. And it's, for example, what Jack has been doing the whole year. He's finished all the races, and he's leading the championship. So I know me and Jack have about the same pace, and I know I can keep up with him. I'm as quick as him. So it's about just staying consistent and staying calm and looking forward.
One of the great things about this season, USF Pro 2000, you got the USF Juniors and USF 2000 champion battling back and forth. Both those drivers know how to win titles. As we told Leo, we're only at the halfway point, lots of racing still to go. But if there's one thing about Mid-Ohio, when you start up front, you normally finish up front. He's on the pole here for race number 1 today. Watch for Leonardo Scorpioni to go for another race win here at the Mid-Ohio Sports Car Course. After this break, we'll come back. I'll give you the full driver lineup.
You can feel confident Continental is the smart choice in tires.
Can they handle extremes?
Yep. Tested from the Texas desert to near the Arctic Circle.
Really?
Really.
Anything for the guy who finds that one pothole?
Yeah. Road hazard coverage has your back.
For real?
Absolutely.
Were they made by a bajillion engineers?
Well, closer to 100. Continental. Welcome to the smart choice in tires.
We test every vehicle for driving safety, performance, and efficiency. But we also believe a vehicle should be fun. So we set out to test the all-new Prelude for joy, excitement, and exhilaration. And it's clear, it's not just the way our vehicles move, but the way they make you feel that makes them a Honda. The Prelude Hybrid, engineered for fun.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Mid-Ohio Sports Car Course. Say hello to those of you who are joining us on the USF Pro Championships YouTube channel or potentially using our downloadable mobile app where you can see all the live coverage, live audio, live video, podcasts, and more. Great to have you with us here on what is now a warming day here at Mid-Ohio. A cooler morning for the drivers in USF Juniors when they got their second race in the books, but the temperature has no doubt risen throughout the day here, warm as it was yesterday, and right now getting set to fire things up for the USF Pro 2000 category. And again, 3 races, a triple header, as this weekend will take them past the midway point of the season. Lots of racing still to go for the drivers in USF Pro 2000 from here. Looking forward to the race at Portland, up north of the border to the brand new street circuit in Markham, Ontario. They'll also get a chance to run the Milwaukee Mile this year. Really excited about that. We did a Monday test day after Road America where all the drivers got a chance to circulate that racetrack. That is expected to be a very exciting event for the drivers in Pro 2000. And last but not least, all 3 of the series on the docket here this weekend. They'll also all be together. We cap off the season at Road America at the end of September. Once again, my name is Rob Howden, joined by the voice of the racetrack here from Mid-Ohio, Mr. John Phippen. We are going to go, though, into the driver intro. Bit of a hold on track right now after the NTT IndyCar Series practice session. The AMR IndyCar safety team doing their track inspection to clean up a little bit here. But let's have a look at the grid as we get set to go. We'll start with the row number 8, as 16 drivers set to roll off here for the first of 3 races on the weekend. Colin Aiken for VRD Racing in the number 11, the driver out of Jacksonville Beach, Florida, set to start in the 16th position. Alongside him, fellow Floridian from Sarasota, J.T. Hoskins in the J. Howard Driver Development, powered by ECR number 7. A couple of Florida drivers on row number 8. We'll go to row 7 on the outside from Greenfield, Indiana. That is Comet Racing, Newcastle Motorsport Park Racing's Logan Adams in the number 21. Tested here earlier this year, but his first race back with the program since Arlington. Logan Adams has been racing in the USAC Mustang Cup program and has won a bunch of races over there. Great to have him back in his single-seater. The number 21 set to roll off from the outside of row number 7. He'll start alongside Joey Brienza, Colorado native, now living in Indiana, a student at the Indiana University. Brienza in the Indiana University Kelly School of Business machine, the number 91, starting 13th position for Exclusive Autosport. Up to row number 6, all Turn 3 Motorsports, the Kiwi Sebastian Manson on the outside of row number 6, starting 12th in the number 22. Tyke Durst on the inside from Charlotte, North Carolina in the number 3. He'll start in the 11th position. Cars rolling out onto the pit lane now to get things underway. We'll work our way into the top 10. Staying with Turn 3 Motorsport driver Brady Golan in the number 44. Back with the program, having missed the race at Road America, racing his FRA car at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Golan in the 44, starting on the outside of row 5. Inside Christian Cameron out of Sonoma, California in the number 27 for TJ Speed. Up now to row number 4 on the outside. As the Turn 3 drivers continue to work their way up the grid, Michael Costello in the number 2. Starting on the outside, the driver who rolls in here now 5th place in points. Costello on the outside starting 8th. Alongside him, the driver who's now in the 4th place in points from California, Fast Frankie Mossman in the VRD Racing number 77. Mossman alongside Costello on row 4. Moving up to row number 3 on the outside, your point leader right now. A couple of race wins on the season, but a really consistent run since an issue in the opening round. Jack Jefferson of San Antonio, Texas, the point leader. He'll start 6th outside of row number 3 in the Exclusive Autosport number 92. He's got the USF Pro Championship scholarship colors on the car, last year's USF 2000 champion. Alongside him, a driver he battled with last year in USF 2000, Teddy Masella in the VRD Racing number 25. Masella starting in the 5th position, the driver out of Orlando, Florida. Moving up to row number 2 now on the outside, he is the local driver from Bethel, Ohio. Loves this racetrack, loves this Mid-Ohio event, circles it on the calendar each year. For TJ Speed Motorsports, Thomas Schrag in the number 26, starting in the 4th position. Alongside him, the driver coming off 2 big wins at Road America just a couple of weeks ago. G3 Argyros from California for Pabst Racing in the number 18. Those 2 victories at Road America moving him up into 2nd place in points. G3 Argyros ready to go after it again here today. 16 drivers in the field, 2 on the front row. Off pole from Peru. Really starting to get a handle on this USF Pro 2000 race car. A couple of podiums coming recently at Road America. Very strong there. He is going to be one to watch. Andres Cardenas in the J. Howard Driver Development, powered by ECR number 6. Cardenas on the outside of the front row. But the driver starting on the pole position, what a story this is. last year's USF Juniors champion. Made the move up to USF 2000 with a scholarship, 2 podium finishes at the opening round of the Grand Prix of St. Petersburg, but decided to make the jump over 2000 to USF Pro 2000. From Windermere, Florida, Leonardo Scorpioni for Turn 3 Motorsports on the pole in the number 4. Loves this racetrack. Rolls in here 3rd place in points. Still with a shot at the title with so many races still to run. A Scorpioni on the pole. He'll start alongside Cardenas on row 1. We'll see Argyros and Schrag on row number 2. Masella and Jeffers will be on row 3. Mossman and Costello on row 4. Row 5, Cameron and Golan. Row 6, Durst and Manson. Row 7 will have Brienza alongside Adams. And row 8, Hoskins and Aiken. Crew working their way around the track to make sure everything's good to go. But indeed, 16 drivers set to fire things up. They've been waiting. They had practice yesterday. They had qualifying yesterday morning. They've had to wait all day yesterday through the heat to finally get behind the wheel of their race cars to get things underway. USF Pro 2000 ready to fire things up for 3 races on the weekend. 2 races today, 1 first thing tomorrow morning. As I said earlier, joined by John Phippen, the voice of this racetrack, Mid-Ohio, for many, many years. John, great to have you with us here. And, man, looking forward to a good run. We've had some chaos in USF Juniors, same in USF 2000. Many of these drivers have been in this program for multiple years. We always expect a little bit more.
These are pros, of course.
Exactly.
You expect them to be the most experienced, obviously, and do the best job of giving each other racing room and getting the job done. So we'll keep our fingers crossed. We have a little less chaos for the first of 3 races this weekend for the USF Pro 2000.
They're all ready to fire things up and down on pit lane. We're ready to fire up these engines as well. As again, Elite Engines are the suppliers of our engines. They build the motors for all 3 of our series, USF Juniors, USF 2000, and USF Pro 2000. And all of those engines now coming to life here on pit lane. Tatis Chassis, Continental Tires, the spec series that develops these young racers to move in to the NTT IndyCar Series. It's not hard to see the success that we've had in this program. You simply look at the last 8 champions in Pro 2000. 5 of them are in the NTT IndyCar Series. Renus VK, Kyle Kirkwood, Stingray Robb, Christian Rasmussen, and Louis Foster have all made the move through Indy Next up into the IndyCar Series. The most recent 3, you're going to see them continue to battle in Indy Next. Of course, last year's champion Max Garcia, then Lucky Hughes and Miles Rowe as well. All those drivers, of course, Lucky Hughes and Miles Rowe race winners. Great work for Max Garcia this year as he continues to improve with Able Motorsports, working his way up the order. We've had a lot of success with this program, this entire ladder system, developing racers for IndyCar. And you're going to see that happen for years and years to come because there are some fantastic, talented drivers coming up through the ranks. We saw that in USF Juniors and USF 2000 already, and talk a lot about USF Juniors as well. That program added to the ladder system in 2022, and we knew it was going to be a while before that particular program bared fruit, right? Those young drivers in 22 and 23 making their way finally through the program, really now up into the Indy Next Series. This is where Nikita Johnson, Alessandro DiTullio, Max Taylor all started in the USF Juniors program. They progressed their way through USF 2000, USF Pro 2000, and now they're the drivers we look to see winning races in Indy Next. Field has left the grid one time around, just that one reconnaissance lap. And interesting, John, again, for these drivers, all day on Friday, we were the only guys on track until about 2 o'clock in the afternoon, so it was our rubber laid down, right? And so that was practice and qualifying. These drivers haven't seen the racetrack since their qualifying session, and now they've had Indy Next and IndyCar on track for a lot of rubber. It's going to be an interesting racetrack when they go green. Yeah, this is their first time on it today, obviously, and so it's going to be a difficult adjustment for them because this track is going to be very different from when they saw it last yesterday afternoon. So we'll see how it shakes out. Again, these are your most experienced drivers. You expect them to be able to handle it. Yeah, it's USF 2000. We just jammed the Pro in the middle there. This is what we expect out of these drivers here. USF Pro 2000. And one step away from Indy Next. That's where they'll be going in 2027 if all works out. Leonardo Scorpioni and Andres Cardenas on the front row. And for me, amazing to see that we have 6 teams represented in the top 6 as well. Turn 3 Motorsports and Jay Howard Driver Development on the front row. Pabst Racing and TJ Speed on row 2. VRD Racing and Exclusive on row number 3. Just shows the quality of the teams that we have in our program, that we can put 6 of them in the top 6. Field set. We're going to ready to go racing here. Drivers are working their way through the carousel. It is time to fire things up here for the first of 3 races for USF Pro 2000. A beautiful day here at the Mid-Ohio Sports Car Course. In line. Green, green, green. Racing down into turn number 1. Can they get through clean and green? They'll work their way through here. Big run down into turn number 2 for the first time. Good stuff here. I like the fact that they get through turn 1 clean. That's what we wanted. Turn 2's been chaos for the other categories. Great job. Now keep the car on the racetrack coming down the off-camber downhill. And there's one driver from the further back, way off the racetrack. Easy to do coming down that corner. One of the turn 3 cars having trouble down the hill of the off-camber keyhole. Here's your first challenge down into turn number 4 as well. Jack Jeffers with a couple of spots. He moves up from 6 to P4 on the opening circuit. Great start for a Scorpione. He'll go to the lead. Not surprisingly, Andres Cardenas slotting into the second position. There's that driver further back. One of the turn 3 cars, as we said, going 4 wheels off in the grass on the exit of turn number 2. Otherwise, the opening lap settling in nicely. Looks like Thomas Schrag back into the 5th spot. Who's that up into 3rd position? I think that's G3 Argiro. Started 3rd, holding on to 3rd, so a good job for G3 there. So opening lap looking to lock things in here as they get out of the Thunder Valley, up and over the hill here, down into the carousel, back through turn number 13. We'll put lap number 1 in. Clean start for the drivers in Pro 2000. That's what you like to see. That's what the IndyCar team owners want to see as well. Not only can you get up front and win races, but bring that car home in one piece. A Scorpione, Cardenas, Argyros, Jeffers, Schrag, and Masello, the top 6, as they rocket out at turn number 1. John, we didn't see much of this in USF Juniors and USF 2000, but thankfully the pro drivers putting on a good opening lap.
Yeah, so far so good. We'll keep our fingers crossed that they can maintain that pace as they're working their way down the back straightaway for the second time at speed. As Scorpione out in front of Cardenas with GC Argyros and the points leader, Jack Jeffers, in your top 4. Line astern on the way down into turn 4.
Tyke Durst in the number 3, the driver for turn 3 Motorsports that went off on the outside. He's the one at the tail of the field now. Battle setting up front as Cardenas continues to fight there. But look at, there's a driver going to go all around there. That's JT Hoskins. Hoskins loses the rear of the car. Likely be able to refire and continue. We may go full course yellow as he is currently stuck on the apex, the entry to turn number 5. We saw that one on camera. Tried to go to the outside, lost the rear of the car. At this point, wondering whether we go full course. That car took a rough ride coming out of the corner. Almost got up and over, and indeed full course caution as an issue for JT Hoskins down in turn number 4 and 5. Just overcooked the outside, and as he transitioned into the corner, exit oversteer, lost the rear of the car. And at that point, John, once you get on top of that curb on the outside, get into the grass, thing just started to rotate. He's honestly lucky it didn't go over, because it bit once it started sliding.
Yeah, he got sideways, and the tires, rear tires, dug into the very damp grass off the track there. And car got up in the air, but he was able to land on his feet, but unfortunately unable to get that car refired from his vantage point. So the AMR safety crew on the scene will get a replay of this here.
Yeah, let's have a look at this. Again, you'll see very likely the same camera angle here coming down into turn number 4. Look to the tail of the field there for the driver in the yellow machine on the outside of the turn 3 car. Thinking about the outside, there's really not a lot of room out there. And once he gets wheel in it, the amount of speed he had, and look at that thing launch up in the air, coming down hard. You wonder if there's suspension damage potentially, but yeah, the bottom line is, John, on the outside of that corner, since it's been kind of reshaped a little bit and leveled out, the banking that used to be there a number of years ago, not a massive banking, but enough, of course, to get a driver to potentially hold on the outside. If you're on the outside like that and you're carrying that much speed through, remember, he's got to keep feeding wheel in it to get around that corner. And once that happens, the transition of the balance goes to the rear of the front of the car, and at that point, around he goes. So not much that JT Hoskins could have done there at that particular part of the corner. Back it up a couple, 100 yards, maybe get off a little early,
sure,
and not get that deep into the corner. But you're thinking about trying to go to the outside. It's so inviting coming down there, as we know. Just didn't work for JT Hoskins on this particular occasion.
Yeah, with the change in that the contours of turn 4, they've taken a little of the banking out. Not much, about 2 degrees is all they took out of it. But it does make that outside pass a bit harder than it used to be.
Drivers scrubbing their tires right now as we get set to go back at it. Leonardo Scorpioni, the leader. Andres Cardenas runs in the second spot. G3 Argyros in third. Jack Jeffers fourth. Thomas Schrag fifth. Teddy Masella sixth. Michael Costello in seventh. Eighth, Frankie Mossman. Ninth spot is Christian Cameron. 10th is Sebastian Manson. He's up 2. Started 12th. Goes to 10th spot. Joey Brienza up a couple as well into the 11th position. Brady Golan in 12th. Colin Aiken 13th, Logan Adams, Tyke Durst, and JT Hoskins. This will be good for Tyke Durst to win off on the outside of turn number 2, the exit of the keyhole. 4 wheels off in the grass. Now will not need to work as hard to catch up to the tail of the field.
Exactly right.
Scorpioni, though, doing a great job to get the lead early. This is a track. I guess we'll bring this up right now. Is when I talked to Leonardo about this a bit in the pre-show. John, being on the pole here is so crucial. I don't know that there's another track that we do anywhere where qualifying is so important. Maybe you look at the street circuits, say, St. Petersburg, Arlington, tracks that are tough to pass on. But when it comes to natural terrain circuits, this is a tough one to pass on. If you qualify well here, number one, you qualify well because you have pace.
Sure.
Number two, the field usually kind of gaps itself out pretty early.
Yeah, and the field is so closely packed. I mean, there's virtually nothing in it between the top and the back of the field, a couple seconds at worst. So the cars so evenly matched. And like I say, this is a track, especially as you get to the field where you've got cars with a little more downforce. They generate a lot more disturbed air coming off the back of the leading car, which takes all the wing off the front of the following car. So it's a little tougher to follow closely. So you've got to be a lot more strategic about where you make your passing maneuvers. As we saw, JT Hoskins tried to make that outside pass down to turn 4, a place where you don't normally see that done. And, that was the thing that caught him out. It's just a little tough place to get it done. And so, yes, it is a hard track to pass on, no question. But there are passing opportunities, as we've seen in all 3 of our championships so far this weekend. You can stuff it in there in some unusual places.
It's just so enticing when you feel like you've got that great run out of the keyhole. Maybe you're on the outside a little bit, because if you're right behind on someone's gearbox or the keyhole, you're going to lose the front of the car. That's the aero wash. You don't get the air over the front wing. You're not getting that downforce on the front. It's not planted. But if you're a little bit out, you're able to get that run around the outside. You get that run down the straightaway. It feels so. I pull alongside him coming into turn 4, but then he's able just to nose ahead a bit. On the outside, you're not there enough. That's the bottom line.
You run out of racetrack.
That's it.
Coming to the restart.
Let's get back at it, folks, as the drivers quickly on the loud pedal. Not a great start there for G3 Argyros. He checked a little bit. He's going to go to the bottom of the racetrack. Jack Jeffers is going to try to around the outside. Not quite enough there. Was not a great restart for Argyros. Jeffers had a look. Argyros moved a bit to the right to try to cover off. Couldn't come back to the left as, look at this. Jeffers looking to the outside of him now as well. Jack Jeffers trying to go by G3 Argyros. More fighting further back between one of the turn 3 cars and Joey Brienza. I think that might have been Sebastian Manson and Joey Brienza side by side to turn 2 as well. Back at it. Let's see what we have for the battle. This is, Argyros is on full defense mode right now. Here comes Jeffers trying to go around the outside. He thinks better of it. Argyros has got the elbows up, full defense, trying to hold back Jack Jeffers here. And Thomas Schrag right behind them as well, looking to pick up the pieces. Another good start for Leonardo Scorpioni, the Turn 3 motorsport driver, just 16 years of age. He's jetted out to the lead again. And right there, Andres Cardenas right with him. More than happy to sit in there. He's again had a strong second half of the start of the season here. A couple of podiums at Road America. Really kind of got a feel for the car. John got settled in, and I think he and the Jay Howard team, they're starting to gel, right? They're starting to come together. He's getting happy with the car. He's done the oval. He's done the road courses at Arlington. He's been on the road course at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Now it's time for him to step up.
And Argyros and Jeffers battling has given a little breathing room to Cardenas and Scorpioni as they've been able to stretch out the lead at the front just a touch.
As we know, too, these cars aren't fantastic to drive over the opening couple laps. Remember that the tire pressure set a little bit lower, knowing that as they drive, the temps will go up in those tires. The tire pressures will get to where they need to be. So the car oftentimes a little bit of a handful on the opening couple of circuits, and that's why some of the drivers you'll see really start to attack, because they're able to overcome the imbalance of the car. Look at that. Cardenas trying to fill the mirrors of a Scorpioni. A little look to the inside. Tucked it coming into the braking zone of 4. Battle starting to set up here right now. Joey Brienza going to work here on Brady Golan, I believe. Good stuff here as the fight continuing. Good scraps all the way through the field. Looks to me like JT Hoskins, I don't know that we saw the end, but he was not able to continue, so probably the reason why he didn't fire might have been some kind of damage to the car. We saw that, John. It was a pretty rough ride. Once he got sideways, and you talk about it kind of biting in and almost going over, you have to figure potential some kind of suspension damage.
Yeah, left rear suspension probably took the brunt of that.
Scorpione trying to stretch that lead out last time by. What is it this time? Oh, he gained at least 4 or 5 tenths of a second there. Almost a full second now on Cardenas. So I'll tell you, Leonardo Scorpione is not one of those drivers you want to give the lead to because he'll put the magic laps down. Did it in qualifying, and he is rocking laps right now. Fast lap there as he's pulled out into a pretty solid advantage here early on. We talked about 20-lap races for USF 2000 and USF Juniors. 30-lap distance for the drivers here in Pro. And, you know, one of the things we talk about, John, when people ask about the series itself, as you work your way up the series, it's more everything, right? More horsepower. When you go to 2,000 up to Pro, more downforce. The braking is more braking capability. The tires are bigger. Everything's more. And the other thing is more is you need more fitness.
Sure.
Because these drivers, you'll watch them in 2,000, they really start to hit the gym. But when they get to Pro, they realize, people have told me this car's harder to drive than the Indy Next car, just because of the way that it's designed with the geometry of the suspension. It's a tough car to drive. There's a lot to it. And when you add 10 more laps on, you think of a 2000 driver jumping up to Pro. It's not a 20-lap race in 90-degree temperature. It's 30 laps. It's a challenge for these drivers for sure.
And these guys have 2 of these today, so they're gonna be tested for the afternoon session for sure.
Aero wash is something that we talk a lot about with the drivers here in USF Pro 2000. With more of everything, they do have more aerodynamics on this car, a lot more aerodynamic downforce. So when you lose that aerodynamics, the balance thrown off even more. So corners like the carousel, corners like here in the keyhole, you're going to lose the front of the car coming through, especially, you know, getting through 6 and 7 as well. Over to turn number 8, you just lose that air on the front wing, and oftentimes you'll get mid-corner understeer, and they'll just want to push off the racetrack. So you're really modulating the throttle. You're trying to balance the car out a little bit. That fight further back continuing right now between Brienza and Logan Adams. That's the fight for the 13th spot. We saw them a little defensive move to the inside for Brienza to try to hold off Adams. That fight's going to continue on. I think Adams actually able to get through on that lap. There's Logan Adams there on the 21 through. He'll work his way up into 13th. Fast lap of the race set down by Leonardo Scorpione. And again, thinking about the fact as we come into the championship battle right now, he is about 24 points behind Jack Jeffers. A full brace is 33. 1 for pole, 1 for most laps led, 1 for fast lap of the race, and 30 for the race win. Jeffers currently running there in the 4th spot. So an opportunity for Scorpione to cut into that lead a little bit.
And Thomas Schrag is not that far back from Jack Jeffers, as the top 4 have begun to stretch it out a little bit, but Schrag beginning to close down on Jeffers on his last lap. Virtually identical lap time, so Schrag will be a factor here, I think, for perhaps the top 3.
Yeah, Scorpione and Cardenas, the only drivers into the 117 so far. Jargeros 18-1, Jeffers 18-2, same with Schrag 18-2, 18-9 for Masello. So they're pulling away from those drivers behind. You see Masello there leading Costello, Mossman, Cameron, Golan, and Manson. Man, big lead already here for Leonardo Scorpione. Like I said, get the bit in his teeth. He'll put the hammer down. But again, the thing is, John, it's, you know, some drivers have maybe an upper hand at certain racetracks, right? We went to Arlington, and Jack Jeffers was the absolute master of the field, had things essentially handled on the street circuit there. You come here to a track like Mid-Ohio, and Leonardo Scorpione loves this racetrack. Turn 3 has put a really good package under him. He may come away with some wins here. Things could change. You go to the next race. You go to Portland. You go back to Markham now. It's funny how drivers, you know, I talked to Leonardo in the pre-show, and they said they didn't have a full handle on the setup at Road America. Didn't have the best results there as a team, although he was able to get a couple of top 5s, really kind of extracting, I think, the most he could out of the race car that wasn't exactly perfect. That's what champions do, right? When the car's not great, they're able to make the best of the situation. A couple of top 5s for him. Comes here to Mid-Ohio, they were off the trailer, and the thing was fast out of the gate. So this is the time you capitalize on a good car. When it's a bad car, you try to extract as much as you can out of it.
Yeah, and you've got a second oval this year coming up with the Milwaukee Miles. So, that's bound to be a new test for these drivers in a very different racetrack even than IRP. So.
I'm so excited about that. A proper oval track for the drivers here in USF Pro. Many years we ran at Worldwide Technology Raceway. We were part of the IndyCar event there in St. Louis. That was a fun race for sure. Great racetrack for us. IRP, the 5/8 mile oval just outside the Speedway there, it is great for the USF 2000 drivers and the pro drivers to get a feel for racing on the oval, but it's a tight 5/8 mile oval.
Sure.
It's not really an IndyCar style oval. Yeah, they get a feel for running on the oval, but when we take them to a proper race like the Milwaukee Mile with IndyCar, with Indy Next, the boys were racing there. They did a test after the Road America event on the Monday a couple of weeks ago, and man, they were beaming. They were loving it. You're full-on power turning into the corner, 6 down to 5th mid-corner, back on the power, and then grabbing 6 down the straightaway, and you're back into the gear in turn 3 and 4. There's work to be done, but drivers I've talked to said pretty easily they're going to be going very likely too wide in the corners. So it's going to be a great race for sure.
Oh, yeah. All the drivers had a big smile on their face when they were talking about it.
Yeah, exactly that. Love it. There's your lead for a Scorpione as we are only a third of the way into this one. Talking about the physicality of this particular race. Looking at the temperatures here, yesterday was unbelievably grueling, not just for the drivers, but think about the mechanics and everybody in the paddock as well. High 90s with the heat index somewhere up, over 100 degrees. Absolutely grueling. Right now about 85 degrees, but it feels like it's getting warmer and warmer, and trust me, with the humidity the way it is, that heat index very much more than 85. And think about yourself bolted into a race car. You got your race suit on, you're pinched down. Yeah, there's some airflow, but maybe not enough. This is going to be a grueling grind for all these drivers here.
Yeah, like I say, we're only a third of the way into this race, so they're just getting started with, like I say, temperatures in the mid-80s right now. And by this afternoon, it's going to be probably a little bit warmer.
G3 Ardros had the fast time there for a lap, but Leonardo Scorpione takes it back. Top 5 drivers now into the 17s. Make that, we're going to go all the way down to the top 8. Car's starting to get good. Tire pressure starting to come up. As we know, the fuel load continues to burn off throughout the race, and these Continental tires have such consistency through a run. We'll very likely see the fastest laps near the end of the race, and those fast laps are so crucial, John.
Yeah, and the battle for second is the one to watch now, as G3 Argyros has definitely found some pace. He was almost a third of a second faster than Cardenas on that last lap. He's got it down to half a second. That battle is for the second step on the podium.
Yeah, Jack Jeffers behind them. Lots of gap there. Same with Thomas Schrag. Same with Penny Musella. He's been able to gap a little bit here on Michael Costello. But yeah, as John pointed out, maybe the best battle on the racetrack right now is that fight starting to brew up here for P2. And G3 Argyros, that confidence and momentum from a couple of victories. His first wins in USF Pro 2000. He is up on the wheel, trying to roll his way up here onto Andres Cardenas. And again, can't say enough about when a young driver wins his first race on any particular, I don't care what level it is. You win that first race, the absolute overflow of confidence that the driver will have. Oftentimes I say that it kind of opens the floodgates. If you win one, we've seen drivers go on and win 4, 5, 6 in a row, or many more during the rest of the season, because they've proven to themselves that they can get it done. And listen, I don't care who you are. When you're a driver, you have to have confidence in yourself. You have to believe you can do it, right? If you don't think you can do it, you can't. So the belief that G3 Argyros has in himself right now, and so many drivers do in our paddock, he's going to be able to step things up here.
Oh, sure, absolutely. The wins breed other wins.
They do.
We've seen that throughout all of the racing series here. And it's a great story for G3, and looks like he's feeling his oats, if you will, coming off that back-to-back wins at Road America. So looking to make it 3 in a row here, maybe. Scorpione is looking pretty stout out in front, but this battle for second is going to be a good one.
He's starting to dial things up here for sure as the drivers come through turn number 6. He flattens out at the bottom of the hill. You see a great shot there of the elevation change from 5 all the way down to 6. You crest the hill of turn number 7. Through turn number 8, blind corner coming over the hill. Then, of course, blind again as you turn here into turn number 9. Car gets super light as you get over top of the hill and drop into Thunder Valley. And the car tough to drive through there. You have to have it pointed in the right direction. Back on throttle once it gets to the exit point of the car, or of the track, rather. All right, let's have a look at lap times again. 17.6 for both Cardenas and Argyros. So Argyros was 0.4 quicker the lap before. Maybe a little example of the aero wash. Once you get to the car in front of you, there's only so much you can do. Watch for Argyros to potentially run some different lines to try to keep some air coming over at least one side of the front wing. It's all about getting a good run really for him out of the keyhole, John. That's the best passing opportunity. Have the driver in front of you make a mistake, you get a good run. You're in the draft, and you can potentially make that dive bomb move into turn number 4. There's Argyros. Look how close he is on the draft. He'll lose a bit going into the corner. Same thing here. Good stuff, though.
Yeah, Jeffers right behind him is picking up the pace as well.
Yeah, he was
Jeffers a little quicker than both of them on that last lap.
But if he gets close enough, will he get the aero wash too?
Yeah, probably.
Right? But he's got open track for now. Who's got open track is Leonardo Scorpioni. He is flat pulling away here now. 4 seconds the lead for a Scorpioni, the Turn 3 Motorsports machine. What a great story under that tent as well this year, John. If anybody has been a follower of essentially the ladder program, our program in the USF Pro Championships, you go back to Indy Lights a number of years ago. Turn 3 Motorsports, owned by Peter and Mandy Dempsey. Peter Dempsey, of course, at one point had that amazing, as we know, 4-wide finish at the Freedom 100 in Indy Lights.
Yep.
Able to get the win there. Everybody will remember the 4-wide finish for Peter Dempsey. But he and Mandy have built this fantastic program, Turn 3 Motorsports. It's been an amazing year for Peter as well. Get an opportunity to do some sports car racing in Europe. Got a chance to run with one of the top teams over in Europe. Did the Le Mans 24, did the Spa 24 as well. So, this guy's not a full-time racer anymore. He's got a race team. He's developing new young racers, but to kind of live a dream, the whole family went over to Le Mans. They finished the race and ended up P6. Just a great experience, a great run for Peter. Unbelievably talented driver. Probably deserved a shot at IndyCar, just didn't get it. But ended up coming into our program, running one of our top teams now with 5 cars in the USF Pro 2000 program. But just a special year, I think, for Peter Dempsey. He and the family getting a chance for him to live out his dreams running in an event like Le Mans.
Yeah.
Fast time still belongs to Leonardo Scorpioni, 1:17.091 rather. Cardenas, Argyros, Jeffers, Schrag top 5, Costello 6, Mossman 7th. Masella, Cameron, and Golan round out your top 10. And again, we saw this for a bit. It looked like Argyros was closing on Cardenas, but he has fallen back a little bit here. A bad lap there for Argyros. Not sure what happened. A 19.3. Something happened for Argyros on that lap, and that has brought Jack Jeffers back in. It's given a ton of breathing room for Cardenas. We thought we could have had a battle there, but look at the top of the screen. Yeah, Jeffers now closing in. Thomas Schrag not giving up at all either. Both those drivers. In fact, Schrag was a couple tenths quicker than Jeffers on the last lap.
And Costello is not that far back either.
No.
And he's quicker than the 3 cars in front of him. So Costello and Frankie Mossman are looking strong here.
Yeah, Mossman just turned his fast lap as well, so that means that car's starting to come in here at the halfway point. We're just past the halfway, 15 laps down, working lap number 16 now. A 30-lapper in tough conditions for the drivers here in USF Pro 2000. Through turns 5 and 6. Look at the lead here for Scorpioni. Let's just stay here for a bit. Yeah, there's the gap between he and Andres Cardenas. But again, Cardenas wants that first win, but this would be his 3rd podium in a row. You start getting runs like that. The driver's gone up. Argyros has gone off. He's hit the wall. G3 Argyros has gone off in turn number 9. He has tagged the wall, damage to the left front tire. Argyros is off. We talked about him having a slow lap on the last circuit. That's 100% going to be full course yellow as he is off the racetrack. He hammered it. I didn't see the contact or even the mistake to go off track. I looked from the timing screen back over, and all I saw was him 4 wheels in the grass. Coming out of turn number 9, John, we have reiterated this time and time again how tough of a corner that is. When you get over that corner, number one, you have to place the car perfectly. It's blind.
Yep.
So you can't see the apex really. You're kind of rolling into it, and then when you get back over the hill, the car gets super light. You better hope you're in the right place.
Exactly right, because when the weight comes back on the car and it grips, you better have it pointed the right direction, or you are going for a ride. The frequent spin we see at turn 9 is to loop it around and actually hit on driver's right. So that's pretty common. But this time he went wide and got into the barrier off the outside of turn 9 and damaged that left front suspension. Yeah,
ideally we'll hopefully get a chance to see a replay on that. But the bottom line is, that was the driver running P3. That's going to move Jeffers to 3rd, Schrag to 4th, and Costello into the top 5. You wonder if something was potentially off for G3 because he had turned a lap about 2 seconds off the pace the lap before. It didn't look like Jeffers was closing through 2 or 3 or 4. They came down to the corner there from what we saw. But going off there in turn number 9, that is not something you want to do, folks. I guarantee you, because you know it. The minute you've missed it, I've done that. I've been 4 wheels off there because okay, here's the replay. Yeah, he misses the entry coming in. Look at this, way off the side of the racetrack. It's going to be left rear and right front contact.
Yeah.
So
he got off at the exit of 8, actually, yeah.
I was going to say, like, something happened on the turn-in.
Makes you wonder if maybe something broke.
We're definitely going to want to re-rack this and see another shot at it. Yeah, that's what I'm wondering. Did something potentially break where he kind of tried to get the thing to turn in? Was a tire going down? Because, like John, as we said, my goodness, you kind of figured it would have been coming over the hill, and he missed it and went 4 wheels off.
Yeah, but he was already off before the turn-in even. Yeah. So makes me wonder, maybe something broke on the car. He tried to turn it in, and it just didn't go.
We saw a couple incidents here in the IndyCar. Dennis Hauger and Roman Grosjean had issues there as well, but that was earlier. That was a spin. Look at the top here. Yeah, he's completely missed the turn-in and had it looped.
And I'll tell you what, that left front wheel looks to be askew way up in here. I mean, it looks like something is not right with that steering arm. So it makes me wonder if he had already had a failure of some kind.
Yeah, you know what? Now that you picked that up, we'll have a look at it again, ideally, one more time. Don't want to kind of beat a dead horse here, but tough for Argyros. In fact, let's just rewind that. I like that.
Hey, there you go.
That's a good way of doing it. We'll see as he comes through. Can you see any issues on that left front as he crests the hill? Already off the racetrack.
That's not pointing in the right direction, I don't think. Yeah, he's got some counter steering. I mean, he's opposite lock, obviously, trying to catch it, but it fell off to me when I saw it come over the top of the hill.
It's a particular part of the racetrack. If the car is starting to go away or isn't feeling good, man, it's tough. It's not that hard to make a mistake there. Did he come out at turn number 8 and drop a wheel potentially, just a little bit off on the outside? We don't have that shot to follow at that point. Did he drop a wheel there and kind of at that point you're counter steering into it? That's a possibility for sure.
Yeah.
So the field working its way around behind our
Going to go Honda. Around one more time.
One more. Behind our Honda Civic Type R pace car, the most powerful Honda production vehicle ever sold in the U.S. with a turbocharged 2-liter 4-cylinder engine producing an incredible 315 horsepower. Fantastic car.
You bet.
Ideally perfect for us.
Exactly.
As a pace car. Gail Troyce behind the wheel of that, our pace car driver here throughout the season for the USF Pro Championships. Again, that shakes things up, not only in the race, but in the championship standings as well. G3 Argyros, as we talked about the fact that he had jumped up into second place in points, just 20 markers behind Jack Jeffers. Coming off those 2 victories at Road America, this is going to hurt in a big way. He's going to finish down in 15th position. So, man, kind of shake things up. Moves Jeffers up into 3rd, Schrag to 4th, Costello to 5th. Mossman now runs in 6th spot, Teddy Masella in 7th, Christian Cameron 8th, Brady Golan 9th, and Sebastian Manson up into 10th. Also, maybe luckily for some of the drivers, a bit of a breather here as the number 1. They're still going to be hot, but you're kind of chilling out a little bit, a couple of cool-down laps, and working their way back around.
Cooling those Continental tires off just a little bit, too.
Indeed.
Probably does not hurt.
Not a happy man would be Leonardo Scorpioni. Yep. A massive 5-second-plus lead that he was able to build there. Going to give another shot for Andres Cardenas to go after him. But based on the pace we've seen out of Scorpioni, I don't know that anybody's going to have anything for him right now. His fastest lap, 4/10 quicker than Cardenas, Jeffers, and Schrag. So the outright pace in that number 4, just incredible here. So good job so far for Scorpioni. Let's see if Cardenas has anything here. That's I'm sure that he's going to be excited. Going to try to go to work on it, but we'll have to see here.
Coming down the hill through turn 9. I think we're clear. We saw G3's car on the hook come back into the boneyard, so we should be able to go green this time, by.
So indeed, not sure if it was a broken suspension component for Argyros coming through. The lap before had been slow, like he had maybe had it off. Nonetheless, issues for G3. Ideally, he's fine. We'll get an update there as well. Field coming back in under control of a Scorpioni through the carousel. That's when they're entitled to push off, and they do. Green flag flying. We are racing. Once the green flag flies, you can go to work. What do we got from Cardenas? Does he think about the lead, or does he think about Jeffers behind him? The driver running P2 there, kind of the hinge point of this right now. Let's see what the battle looks like coming up the straightaway. Down to the bottom of the racetrack goes to Scorpione. He's going to defend. Cardenas going to send it big time on the outside. Can he hold it? Jeffers to the inside. Oh, way to the outside for Costello as well. Good stuff. Not quite enough for Cardenas, but don't say he didn't try. He went to the move to the outside. Behind him, 4th, 5th, and 6th stacking up because not a good run through there for Costello and Schrag. Another shot here for, around the outside for Cardenas. No, he's going to get into the grass. Cardenas in the grass, as is one of the other. I think it's Costello in the grass as well. Cardenas tried the outside at turn number 4, and it did not work. Like I said, he was going to go for it. He goes to the outside, comes back on the racetrack. We'll see how far back he goes. That moves Jeffers up into 2nd. It's going to move Schrag up into 3rd. Fantastic battle with Costello right now for P3.
That was almost a replay of his teammate, JT Hoskins.
Both those drivers trying the outside at turn number 4. Look at this now. Indeed. Stacking them up because is that Teddy Musella? I think Musella maybe have got his way through here. Let's have a look as they come back around. Who is that in P3? That's Frankie Mossman.
Yeah.
Wow, Mossman able to take advantage of the chaos to go up to 3rd. Great job for Frankie. Thomas Schrag on his gearbox now. The front 2 drivers have stretched away. Can Jack Jeffers reel in Leonardo Scorpione now? Being told driver off in turn number 11. And that is going to be the 3 of Tyke Durst off in turn number 11. So we are full course yellow. John and I trying to have a look around the track here to see where Durst is. Actually right straight across from us, John, just on the top of the hill. You and I talked about coming out of Thunder Valley through turn 10 and 11, the blind left-hander. You miss it a little bit, and you find yourself kind of looping the rear of the car around. Very likely what happened to Durst. Not sure whether or not he actually got into the actual barrier on the outside of the racetrack, but could be beached in the gravel up there. Spun coming up the hill. Durst was, I believe, running in the 14th position.
Great job by the MR safety crew. Of course, they had a truck right there at turn 11, so it's a pretty quick recovery. They've already got him on the pavement, disconnecting the tow rope here, assuming the car's mobile. I don't see any damage, so I don't think he backed it all the way into the barrier, as the wing appears to be right where it belongs.
Yeah, great shot of it now here from the camera on the outside of the carousel. So off the racetrack, but not all the way into the barrier on the outside. Tyke Durst refires and gets back underway. Crew there will have a look at the track surface as well. 21 laps down, 9 laps remaining. Still lots of time. So 9 laps remaining here. Leonardo Scorpione, your leader. Jack Jeffers to 2nd. Mossman runs 3rd. Schrag 4th. Musella in 5th. Cameron 6th. Manson up to 7th. Golan 8th. Costello falls back to 9th. And Cardenas holds on to 10th position. Man.
You know, we were talking about Frankie Mossman. You and I were talking about on Friday that he's due. Ohio-based driver from up in Medina.
Here's the replay of the incident for Tyke Durst up to the top of the hill. Looks like Tyson's maybe looking to the inside on Joey Brienza, but kind of had to pinch out of it a little bit. Car just slipped off. Yeah, just to the edge of the gravel trap there. Man, a little bit more to driver's right, and he may be able to be on the grass. Here's the incident there. Look at this is Cardenas off to the outside. He's able to get the thing righted and around the corner. He'll come back on the racetrack. There is the number 2, I believe, of Costello going off as well. I said it was the 3, but it's the 2 of Costello. He went off as well, just barely dropped the wheels. I don't think people realize how much of a ragged edge you're on when you're coming through that corner. Listen, you can take that corner easily. Hard down in, on the brakes, release, back to power. You're not going to be fast.
Yep.
The drivers who do it well, you're literally on the ragged edge. The car is always on the edge of potentially spinning. Here's another look at it. He's going for the lead, Cardenas says. He wants it, but he's out of the groove, into the gray.
Yep, out on the marbles.
Yeah, not much you're going to do there. And the same thing, look at the same thing further back. If you go behind them, that's where Costello was. Out on the gray, but very likely still, rolling into some of that brake. Holding that brake a little bit, coming to the corner. Man.
And of course, when you're on the brakes, the weight's on the nose of the car, and that means the rear's going to come around as we're back to green.
Yeah, when you're on that brake, the change in balance in the car does go to the front. And again, like John had said, the rear gets really light and it'll want to come around pretty easily on you, especially in that corner where you've got wheel in it as well. We are back to green flag racing with 8 laps remaining. Scorpione had a good jump there, so he knows he can run the entire race line. Battle coming back here is Thomas Schrag trying to go to the outside of Mossman.
Couple Ohio drivers going after it.
Oh, further back as well. Defensive move to the inside there. That was Masella trying to hold back Christian Cameron. They're going to be side by side coming down through the kink. That is a tough part of the racetrack. Big defensive run to the bottom or the inside of the racetrack for Masella. I think he'll be able to hold it here. How about 2-3 wide further back? Cardenas going to come down the inside. He'll get another spot. Big slider there for the 44 of Brady Golan. 4-wheel drift coming through, but was able to control it. Nicely done for Golan. That could have been off the racetrack as well. Pro drivers hanging it out here. But the driver really up on it again, John. Andres Cardenas with the yellow, getting him an opportunity to fight back at it again, right? With Durst going off, he's going to be able to get back on it, stack things back up again. He's got himself a couple of positions already. So good recovery for Andres Cardenas in the Jay Howard car. Look at this fight further back, though. That is Aiken going at it with Adams and Brienza. My goodness. All right, we'll look at some lap times here. Fantastic outlap there on the restart for Scorpione at 19.7. Jeffers at 23, and Mossman at 20.5. So you can see the gap there that the Scorpione's been able to grab early. Frankie Mossman's trying to put his head down. And yeah, let's go back to that. Now we've got a little less chaos. Mossman most definitely do. Sitting there P4 right now. 4 podiums on the year. Looking for that breakout victory as well. This is the guy that's won races and championships in karting throughout his entire career. Kind of sporadically into the program in USF 2000 Pro before settling in and running a full season here this year. I would expect we'll see Mossman move to Indy next in 2027. But that first win just around the corner for Frankie.
And Scorpione not getting away this time. I don't know where the car's, not quite as strong in the late stages here. Maybe tires going away a bit. But he's not building up that big lead that we had just before the yellow flag.
Right now we're watching Mossman close up as well. Last time by, he lost a couple of tenths of a second to Jeffers, but looks to be like he's back up on the wheel here on lap number 24, starting to work his way forward. I feel like he's cutting in on the gap right now. Let's see as they come back around. Last time it was about 5 tenths of a second as they come across the line. This time, no, it's 6 tenths, so good lap there again. Very similar lap times, but Jeffers down into the 118s as well. He lost a couple of tenths to a Scorpione, but he's gapping up on Mossman. And you think about the guys up front in the battle right now. Jack Jeffers, point leader. Argyros second. Scorpione third. Mossman fourth. Argyros with the issue out, but first, third, and fourth are now running essentially second, first, and third. So we say cream rises to the top. We're not surprising. The drivers here mid-season have really been showing the way. Those are the guys at the top of the points, and those are the guys that week in and week out we expect to see running for podiums.
Another good battle just outside the top 5. Manson and Costello nose to tail as those two turn 3 teammates going after 8th position.
Yeah, you can see them lining things up there right there as well. These turn 3 drivers on top of each other. That is Manson, Costello, and let's throw Brady Golan in the 44 in the fight as well. So 3 of those turn 3 cars battling together right now for 8th, 9th, and 10th. Their teammate Scorpione, though, leading the way in the number 4. USF Juniors champion from last year. Normally you go from USF Juniors, take the scholarship, move to USF 2000. He did that. Started the season at St. Petersburg, running with Sanello Racing, the team that he won the USF Juniors program with, the championship with. A couple of podium finishes. Great way to start your rookie season in USF 2000. But the opportunity 2 weeks later to run the Grand Prix of Arlington, the new street circuit in Dallas. You know what? I'll take it. I'll run with Turn 3 Motorsports. He did well. All of a sudden, I think we're going to go Pro 2000 racing. He won the opening race, his opening race in USF Pro 2000. I think the decision was probably made at that point that he was going to go Pro 2000 racing, skipping over the year that he had won to run in USF 2000 with that junior scholarship. But he has more than proven his worth. Currently 3rd place in points, a couple of podium finishes, and indeed top 5s. I think at Road America said a lot. Turn 3 did not have the best race car there. He was able to drive it to a couple of top 5s, and now here with a platform that's really working from Turn 3, Scorpione pulling away once again. 1.2 seconds to gap, 5 laps to go.
And he's going to make up some ground in the point.
Contact there. Sorry, John, between the 44 of Galan. He gets in the back of Adams as they get to the top of the hill. Adams the full wheel, not to spin around there. Not sure whether or not he got a spot or not, but yeah, Golan got into the back of Adams at the top of the hill, and man, that car got super sideways, and it already gets super sideways as you're cresting the hill up there.
You bet.
They're at the tail of that group right now that includes, I believe, Brienza and maybe Colin Aiken. Here comes the field across the line. You'll see the gap right now. Thomas Schrag trying to see if he can't find that pace. He's a little bit off right now, less than a tenth off of Mossman last lap, but the gap's 0.6 from Schrag. He's trying to get on the podium here. This is that home race for the Bethel, Ohio driver. Was in the battle for the USF 2000 championship last year. Multiple victories in the step below USF Pro 2000. Running for TJ Speed here this year. Thomas Schrag, 7th place in points. DNF the opening race at Arlington, but since then he's put up a lot of solid results. Top 10, top 5 results as he learns this new race car, this new level of competition, and TJ Speed and him just trying to dial things in here. Short on the budget a little bit for Thomas Schrag this year, doing the best he can, the whole family trying to make sure that the budget is there to continue his upward career. Former Team USA scholarship driver, won a lot of races in F1600 in the championship series there, so a guy that knows how to win, no doubt about that. Won races last year in USF 2000. Currently P4 for Thomas Schrag in the home state race.
Cardenas continues his charge to get back in contact with the leaders. He's 7th right now, but all over the back of Christian Cameron.
We'll see that when they crest the hill here. How close is he? Call it 4 or 5 car lengths. Scorpione just absolutely magnificent thus far. Out front, still with fast lap of the race, a 1:17.091. Trying to get the full brace of points. He's already got most laps led. He's already got the pole, so he's got 2 in the pocket already. Does he end up with all 33? Out front nicely. Mossman does not appear to be making massive gains in on Jeffers. Was a little bit quicker on that last lap, so gapped a bit here. We did have some dust in the back there in turn 1. Not sure if we had a driver off over there. That's a potential. We've seen a number of guys lose control a little bit there coming through 1. The track was quite slick through there earlier in the day for USF juniors. When it was the heat started to come up, the temperature entering the turn 1 and the exit of turn 1 was quite high. The shadow from the bridge kept it very cool underneath. The drivers would literally turn in, get the car to set, and all of a sudden they'd hit that cooler part of the pavement, just lose the rear. Congratulations to all the drivers who were able to get through. A couple having trouble, including our leader, Karol Puszewicz, who did a 360, continued to go on to finish, I believe, 5th. Laps winding down here in USF Pro 2000, the first of 3 races for these drivers, just 2 steps away from IndyCar. And Leonardo Scorpione looking why he's trying to put his name in the heads of some IndyCar team owners as a future team driver.
Yeah, he's pulled the pin here. He's opened it up almost a 3-second lead now in the closing laps. It's hard to believe, as dominant as he is here, that he hasn't won since the first race of the season.
Indeed. Yeah, he had a great run in the opening part of the season, as we said, just outside the podium, or top 5 rather, in race 2. Did not have a good Indianapolis. If you go back and remember the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, he got an incident over in turn number 10 where he barrel rolled his car. It was a heck of a shunt. Able to get out there, but it was a rough one for Leonardo, but able to come right back at it, as we know, on the oval at IRP. Was on the podium there. Great to see a podium run at the oval for any one of these young drivers. And, of course, those 2 top 5 finishes at Road America, where the other 2 categories, USF 2000, USF Juniors, kind of already to the halfway point. We're kind of later in the season weighted for the drivers here in Pro. So they've got lots more racing still to come. Portland, Markham, Milwaukee, and then Road America. 4 more events still, where juniors only have 2 races left. Lime Rock next weekend and Road America at the end of September. So the white flag's going to fly this next time by for Leonardo Scorpione. 2.8 seconds the lead over Jack Jeffers, who's looking to stack more points as your current leader in the championship. White flag flying for Scorpione. I believe he'll start on pole for race number 2 as well, unless the drivers have been able to go quicker here. 1:16.9. There's a possibility. Jeffers did a 1:17.2. His fast lap 1:17.4. So no, he has not gone faster than his qualifying time as well. So final lap here for Scorpione. John, a very impressive run for a young 16-year-old driver who's got aspirations to get the IndyCar.
Yeah, and Scorpione losing a little pace on that last lap, back to the 1:18.3s, so almost a second off his fastest lap.
Maybe a little more careful?
Yeah, maybe a little more careful. He saw that white flag and says, okay, 2.4 more miles. Come on, we can make it work.
I don't need to completely roll the center in turn 1. I'll take it a little easy in turn number 4. Although a lot of drivers will tell you the minute you kind of back off like that, you put yourself in a position where you can make a mistake.
Exactly right.
The way the mind works when you're on the ragged edge and in that groove, right? You're in the zone. You don't want to get out of that zone. You want to keep it where it needs to be.
Mossman going after Jeffers, though.
I was going to say, Frankie Mossman is not done with Jack Jeffers yet. I don't know that he's going to have enough time, but Mossman's pushing hard. But here comes the driver who won the USF Juniors Championship last year. Started the season off in USF 2000 with a couple of podiums. Wins his debut at Arlington in USF Pro 2000. Call him another winner again here at Mid-Ohio. Leonardo Scorpione wins race number 1 for USF Pro 2000.
Great stuff.
Fantastic drive for Jack Jeffers as well. He'll come home for second. Good points for Jack after starting in the 6th spot. Frankie Mossman, a fantastic drive up into 3rd. Again, 4th place in points. That'll be the 5th podium for Frankie Mossman here to start 2026. Thomas Schrag, a strong run to 4th. Teddy Musella in 5th. Christian Cameron 6th. Andres Cardenas, John getting himself back up into the 7th position. Went down to 10th. The yellow flag got him a chance to get back forward. There's your unofficial results, folks. Leonardo Scorpione, very impressive run. In fact, that's the USF Juniors champion with the win, the USF 2000 champion with the 2nd place finish. You win championships in this series, then you're going to keep winning races.
There you go.
So the drivers will work their way around the racetrack. John, I'll pass it over to you. I'll head down to Victory Lane and wait for the throw, and we'll get a chance to talk to the drivers here in USF Pro 2000. Scorpione, Jefferson, Mossman on the podium.
Thomas Schrag just off the podium. The Ohio-based driver in 4th spot, Teddy Musella. And the number 25 finishing in 5th spot, Christian Cameron comes home 6th, holding off the charge from Andres Cardenas, recovering after his off about mid-race. Sebastian Manson in 8th. Right behind him, Joey Brienza and Logan Adams. And then the balance of the field, Michael Costello comes home in 11th. Brady Golan in the 12th spot in the 44 car. Colin Aitken in 13th spot. Tyke Durst after an early spin salvaged a 4th place finish, and then G3 Argyros and JT Hoskins not able to make it to the finish. Hoskins, should we say, with that dramatic spin there on the first lap at turn number 5. As the field making its way into the pit lane, as our leaders heading into the victory circle where Rob Howden will be joining them for the interviews. Just remember the Fishing at Cabela's opportunity for you at the pond right behind the tower here at Mid-Ohio, going on until 2 o'clock. So you've got another hour and a half to get a line wet if you're so inclined. Especially for the kids, it's a great opportunity. And thanks to Cabela's for providing all the tackle necessary to make that happen. And coming up on some autograph sessions as well at 1:30. That's about an hour from now. The drivers from the USF Juniors and the USF 2000 will be signing autographs, and that'll be by the gift shop, which is located between the lower and the middle paddock, right in the middle of the paddock. And then the USF Pro 2000 drivers, the drivers you just saw on track, they'll be signing autographs at that same location at 2 o'clock. So a couple autograph opportunities for you. The Indy Next autograph session will be after the IndyCar qualifying session. That's coming up at 4:15. And that will be in the fan zone, the same place the IndyCar session was yesterday at the American Legion stand. With Leonardo Scorpione notching his 2nd win on the season to go along with a 2nd place finish at IRP. So his 3rd podium. But a dominant thing here. So he had almost a 5-second lead before that late full course yellow for G3's spin. He was just able to stretch it out again and make it happen as he climbs out of that car and gives a big salute for Leonardo Scorpione out of Brazil, currently living in Windermere, Florida for turn 3. Getting congratulations from his team. Scorpione with a maximum points haul here this weekend. Going to give him an opportunity to close down that points battle. Coming into this race only 4 points behind G3 Argyros, so he will definitely move up to at least 2nd. But Jack Jeffers with a 2nd place finish is going to maintain the points lead heading into round number 2, and that's later today. These drivers will be our last race on the track at 5:15 this afternoon for their second race of the day, and then they'll round out their 3-race stay here at the Mid-Ohio Sports Car Course as the first race of the day tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. The weather could be a factor for both of those upcoming races for these drivers, as there is some change in the weather coming late today, we understand, and looks like tomorrow might have a change in the weather as well. But we race rain or shine. The only thing that keeps us off the racetrack is if we have active lightning in the area, and that's for the safety of all the workers stationed around the track, the safety workers as well as the corner workers. And so if we have active lightning within a given radius, sounds like we're ready to go with the Victory Circle ceremonies, and Rob Howden is down on the podium.
John, thank you so much. The drivers absolutely exhausted getting out of the race cars here. Not surprising, unbelievably tough out there for them, knowing the temperature, the conditions. Fantastic drive for all three of these drivers here. Let's get things underway and get the first driver up here. The trophies await them. What a fantastic drive over the last couple laps, finishing third place today for VRD Racing, Frankie Mossman. Frankie, how crucial was that when you were back at P5 at one point, able to work your way forward? It's a strong run, and you put the pressure on Jack at the very end of that one.
Yeah, honestly, it was more surprising of a race for myself. I tend to have better starts, but I made a couple mistakes at the beginning. I kind of sat in 8th, and then I capitalized on some people's mistakes. The car was really, really good in the second half of the race, and honestly, I knew that if I just stayed settled down, that it'd kind of come to us.
You guys haven't been on track since earlier yesterday in qualifying. How was it coming after IndyCar rubber?
It's the same as we all do every single week, just a bit tighter everywhere. I think it fit our car. We were really, really loose yesterday. The high temps didn't really seem to fit our car, and then kind of came to us a bit better, yeah.
Congratulations. Got two more here on the week. And get up there. Frankie Mossman coming home in third spot. Today, folks, coming home in second place. He maintains that point lead. Jack Jeffers for Exclusive Autosport, P2. Come on down here, Jack. Lots going on in that race. Leonardo was able to get up front, but Cardenas going off. There was lots going on in front of you for sure. Give me your thoughts on that one.
Oh, it was kind of a race of recovery mode. I didn't execute yesterday in quali. We've known we've had the pace to be in that top 3, top 4. So I was able to have a good start, and from there, it was a long race, people getting tired, tires going off, a whole bunch of variables were going to come into play. So it was kind of just about managing myself, managing everything, making methodical moves, not doing something out of desperation. And I think we did the best with what we had. We picked up a lot of positions, and I think we have the speed to belong up there. I think Leo still has his beat a little bit, but we have 2 more races to try to find that little bit.
There's a way that we separate 2000 and Pro 2000, adding 10 more laps on, 30 laps for that one. Physically, how was it for you out there?
As everybody expects, pretty hard, yeah. It's just a physical track, and on top of that, it's historically known for being hard to pass on, with the aero wash, and especially with everybody being so close pace-wise. So it was pretty physical out there, but, we're race car drivers, we train, so this is what we train for.
That's it. Congratulations. Get up on top there. P2 for Jack Jeffers. As he said, that's what these drivers train for. This driver here, again, we talked about Jeffers winning the USF 2000 championship last year. The driver here coming up was USF Juniors champion last year. What a fantastic run for him, folks. The winner today for Turn 3 Motorsports, Leonardo Scorpione. All right, Leo, I know you've got 2 more to go, but you can smile right now. That was a solid run. You pretty happy with the way the car worked?
Yeah, I'm super happy. The car was amazing, Turn 3 gave me an amazing car. All I had to do was go out there, sit in the car, and drive, It was really easy for me, honestly. The car was amazing. It was on rails, and it was just about staying on track and staying focused.
Who do you want to thank today?
I want to thank the whole Turn 3 team, my dad, my mom, Nalka, the whole Zanella team as well, Ernie, Franzoni, everyone.
Well done. Get on top here, my friend. A race winner, folks, for the second time on the season, Leonardo Scorpione for Turn 3 Motorsports. Not only is he doing that, winning races here in USF Pro, we talked to him in the pre-show as well. He does some coaching for the drivers at Zanella Racing in the USF Juniors program. So this is a young driver you're going to keep an eye on, folks. He won the opening round at Arlington and has backed it up here after a couple of top 5 finishes at Road America, winning here for the first of 3 races at Mid-Ohio. As Jack Jeffers said, this is what these drivers train for. This is why they're in the gym on a regular basis, because tough races like this, 30 laps in total, 10 more than the drivers do in USF 2000. A lot more horsepower, at least 50, 60 more horsepower, more downforce, more braking, more of everything. And they need to have more physicality as well. These three young drivers here, as we know, with the talent that were all the way to the NTT IndyCar Series. Scorpione with the win here today. Jack Jeffers continues to hold the point lead. Frankie Mossman very likely will move to third in the points now with the result here today. So these are the drivers we're going to see challenging for the championship when we wrap things up in Road America this coming September. Champaign ready to roll in here for the drivers here. What a tremendous race that was, and kudos to them. They're going to have to come back and do it again today and then again first thing tomorrow morning. So you think about these drivers, the recovery they'll have. Guys, grab that champagne. Do me a favor. Grip it and rip it. Let's celebrate a fantastic run for USF Pro 2000 and Leonardo Scorpione, his second win of the season, closing the championship lead to Jack Jeffers, who continues to be your point leader, rolling into the next race of the weekend. 2 more to go here for USF Pro 2000. We'll see them back on track today. It'll be a back-to-back run later today for USF 2000 and USF Pro 2000. And remember, folks, the autograph session today as well. Come on and meet the drivers in USF 2000 and USF Juniors, USF Pro 2000 as well. 1:30 at the Mid-Ohio Gift Shop in the middle paddock. Hope to see you there. Get a chance to meet the future stars of the NTT IndyCar Series. Once again, Leonardo Scorpione, our winner today in USF Pro 2000 Race 1. Thanks for tuning in on the YouTube channel, folks. We do appreciate it. On behalf of Anderson Promotions and Continental Tire, my name's Rob Howden. Bye for now.